I'm live. I don't know how to get my I don't know how to get the orientation down. So I guess we're just gonna go live here. Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution from my car in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Actually, can you see out the windshield? Like look at the bluffs out there. Baraboo, Wisconsin. Why at 7:30 on a Friday morning am I in Baraboo, Wisconsin? So let me see. Can I? Okay. So looks like we only have two people here. If somebody's watching, can you drop a chat just so I can see if there's anybody in here and if I can see some chats on the road in my car. This is the first time we've ever taken Hobby Evolution live from the road. There's Cooter and Peter. Okay, thank you. So I did make an announcement. There we go. Thank you all. Red Light's here, Dat Dude's here, Steel Cards is here, David's here, T206 Kid on the road. First time ever, Hobby Evolution is coming to you on location. Baraboo, Wisconsin. Here we are. Beautiful area. So Baraboo is known for their like bluffs, and they've got Devil's Lake State Park. If you didn't see before, like that's looking, I'm way up here, can see out. You're like, well, why are you sitting in your car on a random street in Baraboo, Wisconsin? Well, there's an estate sale today, which is just a few houses up. Oh, there's the neighbors coming out, taking their dog out. They're like, oh God, all these people are out here. Stupid estate sale. So the reason I'm here, there is an estate sale. I randomly, so Baraboo's actually been in the news lately. There was at their high school graduation, it's been a few weeks now, a father of a graduate like rushed the stage and pushed the superintendent aside. There's the superintendent's black. This is a mainly white community, so there's like racial tension regarding this incident. It's gone viral. It's gone across news on the nation. So I was randomly on Facebook looking up news for that incident a couple weeks ago, and I saw a Facebook post in a Baraboo group about an estate sale. And I'm like, interesting. I've actually never been to an estate sale. So I clicked on the photos. It was like a photo preview on the Facebook link. And I'm scrolling through pictures and I see vintage cards, sports cards, baseball cards, football cards, basketball cards. And Max, what's up? Max almost came down for this. Yes. So that's what I'm going to get to that. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned that I'm going to be shut out and wasting half a day in Baraboo for nothing. So I look around and I did like the estate sale gal thing. And I messaged the person, hey, would you sell those before the sale? Of course, no, they won't. So they start releasing the dates. And it was, so this estate sale, they kind of advertised, but they were just trickling out the information. And they released like photos on estatesales.net earlier in the week. They released the address, I think, ahead of time, like Wednesday or Thursday. What else? And then they said, you can. So when the woman responded to my, will you sell early? She's like, sorry, the owners don't want to do any pre-sales, but we will start a list. Sale starts at 10. We'll start a list at 8. I'm like, okay. So last night, I'm like, so yesterday I planned like, okay, I'm feeling my allergies aren't as bad. I'm going to check this thing out. It's a Friday. So I told my wife, I'm like, I'm going to go to Baraboo tomorrow. There's an estate sale with some cards. Okay. So I went to get the address and I just took a screenshot and I saw, oh, the list starts at 7:30. I'm like, well, you know how card people are, like me. Um, I'm like, I'm gonna get there at 7:30. So that's why, and I posted last night in the Hobby Evolution Facebook page. I'm not gonna do Hobby Evolution today because I'll be on the road. And there are a lot of good guesses. I'm getting a Goodwill pallet. I'm going to Kenosha to pick up those Bowman cards. What else was there? I'm going to go fishing. I don't know if somebody said that, but a lot of good guesses. Estates. I didn't want to give it up because I know there's a lot of people that watch Hobby Evolution that would make the drive to Baraboo for this estate sale. Max knew about it. So I knew there was going to be competition. So I didn't want to say anything. There's going to be competition anyway. Don't need to make any more. So got up early, cruised on up to Baraboo. I got here at like 7:20, 7:38 now. I got here about 7:25. It was actually, I could have got here 5 minutes sooner, but it's on 10th Avenue, which is all split up here in Baraboo. I don't, northwest side, I don't even know. But I finally found it. And it's on a dead end street. And it's on like a 90-degree hill. And so I pull up and there's a woman sitting in the driveway. There's like police tape everywhere, keeping people out. And so I asked the lady, I'm like, can I park here? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't think she's in charge here. And she's like, I'm just a participant. I'm like, oh, okay. So took my coffee, chatted with her. There was a sign in on top of the trash can. She's like, the sign in sheet's right there. So, and she's like, let me guess, you're a baseball card guy. And I'm like, oh, that's my first, like, that's not good. That means there's probably been other baseball card guys here already. And that was the case. I'm like, how did you know? And she's like, well, the other 3 guys that have already been here were baseball card guys too. I'm like, shit. So I'm like 3rd or 4th, and I'm 5th on the list. But I'm like 4th among guys that want baseball cards. So, and an older lady came up in a van and she goes, you can't park here. And I'm like, is this like the owner lady? No, she's just a participant too. I'm like, what? She's like, you can't park there. I'm like, oh, okay. Where can I park? She seems to know. She's like, you got to park on the street. Okay. So here's I pulled down because I'm like, I'll go live, but I don't want other people. I have a thing. Isn't this weird? Like I go live and I talk every morning, but I have a thing about people watching me talk live. Like I didn't like, when I worked in radio, I didn't like people in the studio with me when I went on the air and talked. But I'll talk to you, dozens of people. It doesn't bother me. But when people are like staring at me talking, I get self-conscious. So I may waste an entire half day here sitting in my car in Baraboo. I'm already in the check-in. It doesn't start until 10, so I have over 2 hours. So I think there's a Walmart in town. Maybe I'll just go kill some time at Walmart. Maybe I should buy a little stand for my car so I don't have to hold the phone while I do this video. So I am a little concerned that I'm going to get shut out. I don't know. I don't know if I've gone live on my phone. I wonder if there's a way, because I've taken some pictures of what's there. Basically, there's a few boxes of 70s cards, and it looks like it goes up to like 76, like 1976. There's a lot of 72, 73 basketball, which immediately brought back memories of Baseball Card Bill, who passed away this week, buying 72, 73 Topps basketball from Baseball Card Bill. So maybe that's like a sign from beyond. Baseball Card Bill is with me in spirit, and maybe I will get these cards. So a lot of things can happen today. You know, the biggest fear which came to fruition was getting here late and not being the first baseball card guy, which I'm 3rd or 4th in line. There were so I was the 5th on the list. The very first guy that signed in, like, crossed his name out. So I don't know what that means, but I want to be here like when they open doors. And I think they said they're going to let the first 25 people on the list in. So, you know, you want to be here at 10. And so I'll probably want to get back here by 9:30 just in case. So seems like they're going pretty strict by their rules for this sale. So again, I've never done an estate sale. I don't know how this works. So I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. Again, there were like 3 shoe boxes of 70s cards. No, like, this is potentially like lottery ticket type stuff because it looks like all junk, but you never know. There could be really good stuff. There could be really good stuff hidden, within the piles. So, my fear is it's like, well, maybe this, because they're rubber banded, and all that. So, my thought was, my initial thought, like looking at that, like, oh man, these haven't been touched in 40 years. And so my thought was, maybe it's just like their collection from their childhood. It's been in the closet forever, for 50 years. But what gave it away, where I think it might have been cherry picked, was I saw some yellow bordered 91 Fleer. So there is some junk wax in there as well. So it's not just 70s. There were 3 shoe boxes of 70s cards. And then there's also, there was like a tub of like just cards thrown in, which looks like, all junk wax. So, so we'll see. So I'm going to go into the chat. Where are we at? We got a lot of people in here this morning. Good morning. I'm in Baraboo, Wisconsin at an estate sale. It opens up at 10. My name is on the list. We've got Cooter, Peter, Red Light, Dat Dude, Steel Cards, David, T206 Kid, Gundy's in the house. TTM Bob, what's up? Herman, good morning. Merle, what's up? Royals 417. Todd Richardson, good morning. Card Hobbyist, Tiger 727. Royal says, have an old style for me. Here's the funny thing. I don't even like old style. I just like the hat. Johnny Boy Cards is here. Good morning. Lewis loves the hat. Thank you. I love the hat. Don't like the beer. Don't love the beer. Like the hat. Merle says, wasn't it on location when you were at spring training? Ooh, Merle, you are correct. I have done Hobby Evolution on location. Yes, I've done a few spring training editions of Hobby Evolution. So yes, you are correct. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. It's starting to warm up. It's actually really chilly. I'm wearing short sleeves and shorts, but the sun is beating down. It's only like 60 degrees, but the sun is beating down, and I've got my windows up so people don't hear me talk about my estate sale strategies that I don't have. I don't want them to hear that I'm a rookie, and they can push me around. I see don't let people push you around. Good morning, Kyle. Hobby Evolution Mobile, private jet coming next. Max says he almost came down for this estate sale. Steve, what's going on? Orlando's in the house. Max says if there's a list, make sure you get on it. Yes, number 5 on the list. And I thought I was a few minutes early. Bummer. Value Box Digger, what's up? Anyone that don't sell early is, no offense, kind of dumb. Guaranteed money now or wait to hope for a sale. They'll get a sale. Well, and so I don't know how estates, like, is it priced? Like, do they just make up prices? Like, do you just offer prices? I don't know. I guess I'll find out here in a couple hours. Cooter says, around here, if the list starts at 7:30, the line for the list will start at 5. That was what my concern was. Like, okay, the list starts at X time, but who's going to be here waiting for that list? Kind of like in 2021, Target opens at 9, but the line forms at midnight for your blaster box of Prism basketball. But it's one of those things where I wasn't going to get here at 5. It was about, how long did it take me to get here? Not quite an hour, because it's about an hour to the Dells. And so I'm just about 10 minutes from the Dells, I think. So maybe 45 minutes, I think. Let's see, where are we at? Low Roller Scratchers here. Are you buying sports cards in the flea market? You might find a great deal. No, I'm at an estate sale. Although I think it's like town garage sales. So I see a lot of signs around the neighborhoods here about garage sales. So there are a couple guys that, they're actually, right after I got here, there were like 5 or 6 people that have come in. A couple guys look like baseball card guys too. We must have a look. Do we have a look Do baseball card guys have a look? Like, I'm not even wearing a baseball hat. I'm wearing a beer hat. Where are we at? So, if I strike out here today at this sale, I might just like, well, I'm in Baraboo. When in Rome, when in Baraboo, go to garage sales. Card Hobbyist says, Bo basically just said we're not real people. Well, in the terms of, you're not standing over my shoulder listening to my every word. Well, you might be, but I can't see you looking over my shoulder. It's very buggy up here too. Like, I want to roll my window down, but I just see the bugs, and there's a lot of trees. There's just trees everywhere in Baraboo anyway, but, they were like swarming me when I was up there when I first got here. Merle says, they just think you were FaceTiming someone. They don't realize how famous you are. I have 50. Could you imagine? I'm going live. I have 54 people watching me right now. Where are we at? Value Box Digger says, you're a robot. Charlie's in the house. What's going on? Love the old style hat. I have the reverse blue with white trim. Excellent. So here, it was a strategy to wear the old style hat today, because normally I would have wore my Cubs hat, but I didn't want to like what if the owner's like absolute Chicago hater, which there's a lot of Chicago haters here in Wisconsin. What if I show up wearing a Cubs hat and he's like, I'm not giving the Chicago guy, the Cubs guy, first crack at these baseball cards. So old style brewed here in Wisconsin for a long time. We had this conversation at the last Madison Card Show, and I think they're starting to brew it again after taking several years off, decades off, whatever it might have been. I think Max was in that conversation, or at least your dad was. So I'm like, old style, that's a Wisconsin, like, I don't have to put on a Brewers or Packers hat to fit in. I'll put on an old style hat. So there was strategy. That's my only estate sale strategy I have. When in Rome, wear local colors. Let's see. Low Roller says, don't forget you can get football, basketball, and other sports cards. So there is, it's 70s cards. It's basically early to mid 70s from what I saw in the 3 shoe boxes. 72, 73 basketball stuck out. Really didn't get a good idea on what else was in there. I didn't see any hockey, but I did see basketball, football, baseball. Let's see. Brian says, be aggressive. People will run. That's what, you know, I'm an autograph guy. I'm not very aggressive when it comes to autographing because I want to respect the athlete. But I'm not going to let anybody push me around getting autographs. Like, I'll put up a fight, not literally, figuratively. So, I ain't afraid to throw an elbow. Okay, maybe I am. Where are we at? Max says, a lot of other nice stuff there, though, too. Video games will get hit right away, too, I'm sure. Jerseys. Yes, so there's a lot of, like, and I think most, if not everybody in the chat, we all have similar interests besides baseball cards. There's other cool and unique stuff. That guy looks like a baseball card guy that just drove up. Well, you can't see. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I think there's like PlayStation and various video game consoles and stuff, which if I strike out on the cards, it's like, oh, if video games and jerseys are there. Jerseys are I did an auction when I lived in Macomb. My buddy Dave Arnold, who's sleeping in because he's a teacher and he's on summer vacation. He called me up and he's like, hey, there's out at Louderman Auction, there's a sports like memorabilia auction. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was the seller was like a diehard St. Louis fan. Cardinals, like the Cardinals football team. The Cardinals baseball stuff went for stupid prices. The Cardinals football prices, insanely low. Like, I was scooping up, there was a Neil Lomax, like, vintage jersey that I got for like $2. I sold it for $75, and this was like 20 years ago, 15 years ago. There was like a Cardinals football satin jacket, got it for like $3, sold it for $100. Like, just crazy, stupid low prices. So a lot of people overlook, If there's Packers jerseys, that'll probably, people will eat up, gobble up the Packers, Brewers, Bucks, whatever. But if it's, Arizona Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals football, there could be some hidden gems that people gloss over. So I am gonna, I'm gonna beeline, if I can find the baseball cards. I'm gonna beeline for the baseball cards. But if I miss out there, there's other stuff that could pique my interest. Let's see. Merle says, "Is that Chasing Cardboard parked behind you?" Man, they were in my area. I wish Ty would have given me a call. Like, hey, I'm gonna be in Elgin. He stopped off at Top Shelf Breaks. I've met Chris. I don't know Chris that owns Top Shelf, but I've met him a couple times. He sponsors the card show at the Kane County Fairgrounds down in St. Charles. So we've chatted. So I wish I would have known that Chasing Cardboard was in my neck of the woods. Let's see. Max says, "Be aggressive. Don't let people shove you." Yeah, I'm going to box out, man. The one thing that I took away. Oh, yeah. Brian says, "Remember to box out, butts and guts." Yeah, that's the one thing I took away from high school basketball. Box out, box out. Starting to sweat in here. I don't know if it's the coffee, the sun, or just the anticipation of the cards. Probably all encompassing. Hey, by the way, since we haven't chatted, and this is Hobby Evolution after all, we talk about what I ate for dinner and my dentist appointment. So my doctor's appointment was 6 weeks ago, and it was not a good doctor's appointment, as you've all heard, and that's why I'm drinking mushroom coffee and drinking Michelob Ultra. If I drink beer, a lot less alcohol, no caffeine, no sugar. So been working on that. My last dentist appointment 6 months ago at my cleaning was also not good. I had tartar buildup. I had bleeding gums. They were concerned. They're like, "We're going to have to keep an eye on this." I'm like, fuck, just what I need. I'm 41, 42 going to shit. So go to the dentist, and here we go. It's going to be another shitty news. And so guess what? No bleeding gums. No tartar. The dentist says, "This is the best your teeth have ever looked." Yes! Finally, some good news. So my dentist is also, speaking of Elgin, he's from Elgin. He's a Cubs fan. And so, we were talking about, what are you going to do in the summer? Talking a little bit about the Cubs. And I'm like, well, we're going to Switzerland in a few weeks. Right before Switzerland is Club 400's doing a 1984 Cubs reunion. But, like 20 of the players from that team are going to be there. There's a golf outing and a party. And he's like, "The 84 Cubs?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And the first thing he says, "I hate Steve Garvey." And I'm like, yes. So good trip to the dentist yesterday. Oh, we got more people. We got dogs barking. What's up, puppies? We got dogs barking. We got a man on a bike. We've got the neighbors walking their dog. We've got another guy. He could be a baseball card guy. So we got a lot of activity on a dead-end road in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Card Hobbyist says, "Bo, gonna have to start a 1 million Brewers collection after this buy." I didn't see too many. I actually didn't see, and Max saw the ad also. I didn't see too much like Wisconsin sports stuff. I'm sure there is plenty in there. Actually, I did see some Packers stuff. Oh, the neighbors are talking. And now they're looking up this way because there's like 20 people waiting for the estate sale. They're like, "Can you believe all these people? Oh, the street's just going to be packed. This is my quiet street. Yeah, they started coming at like 5 a.m. There's a list out there. Oh, can you believe they're parked up and down the street? Oh my God, there's so much traffic." That's what the neighbors are talking about right now. Throw some elbows. You might meet American Arbitrage. Buy sports cards in the estate sale. I have met Carrie from American Arbitrage. We actually were together down at the Collecticon in Dallas last year. So I know Carrie, great guy. Jody, what's up? Good morning. Brian says he knows Carrie. Oh, yes, and lives in Vegas. Yeah, I don't think Carrie's going to be in Baraboo, Wisconsin today. Card hobbyist, challenge the other buyers to name that player for rights to buy first. Hey, we could play name that player. Now, my left hand is being used to hold the phone, so uh, I can't cover it up. Unless, maybe I have some Post-it notes. We could do an impromptu. But I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't do the scoreboard. We could do a practice round. Let's see. Low Roller says you might find Beckett magazines there. There could be. Nice hat, 10 Kess, what's up? T-Dog, what's up? Shout me out. I will sub. You got it. T-Dog, thank you. Hit that sub button. Max says every sale is different. Matt likes in the house. I see some binders with 1990 Donruss and Fleer too, but also a binder page with a Favre Upper Deck rookie, so maybe it's not all cherry-picked already. So Matt must be looking. So yeah, if you go to estatesales.net, my left hand's getting tired. If you go to estatesales.net, just type in Baraboo and the sale should come up. You can kind of see there's a few shoe boxes of 70s cards, rubber banded. It's like, how long have they been rubber banded? What's inside the rubber bands? Because it's not like, there's not like a Brett Favre rookie like sprinkled on top. It's like stuff's all hidden. Yeah, that guy's definitely a baseball card guy. And then there's also junk, like Matt says. There's some junk wax too. Max says they probably have regulars for their sales, and you weren't one. I know, right? Well, you're a headrest as a Cubs logo, usually a card guy. That's a good point. She could have seen my Cubs headrest. White and middle age is the primary baseball card demographic, right? Why do I look like a baseball? Well, you're an old white guy. Cooter says you need to put a Hobby Evolution mobile studio sign on your car. You know, I used to have, when I worked in radio, I broadcasted games on my own. And I created the website Illinois High School Sports Network. And basically the idea for the Illinois High School Sports Network was to bring links for all of the games. Like for football season, like, okay, it's week 1. I want there to be a website where you can go watch or listen. It was listen back then in 2007, 2008. Where you can listen to the radio broadcasts of each game. Okay, you want to listen to Anawan Weathersfield, here's the link. So you just come to ihssn.net, which is no longer a website. You go to ihssn.net and you scroll down and okay, well, there's Anawan Weathersfield, there's Abingdon, there's Bushnell, there's Macomb, there's Kewanee, Joliet Catholic, so on and so forth. And you can click on the link and it's going to take you directly to the radio station site or the streaming site. And so that was ihssn.net. And I also broadcast my own. I had a mobile studio, basically. I had a soundboard, headset. I had, back in the day, it was like, it was almost like I guess it was a mobile hotspot. So I had solid internet no matter where I was at. Well, depending on where I was at. There were some boonies where I couldn't get good internet, but so I broadcasted games on my own, and I worked out a trade agreement with a local print shop, made me some polos. I don't think I'll ever be able to fit back. That was my medium days, and I don't think I'm going to fit back into medium. Like, I'm okay with being a large. Medium, I think my medium days are long gone. So polos and magnets, and I was driving a Ford Explorer. I had IHSSN magnets on the doors, and so everybody gave me shit for having the magnets, IHSSN magnets. Let's see, where we at? T-Dog, shout me out. Matt says, you'll easily be able to notice the other card guys. I know, right? Card guy. Right now, it's like every white male, I'm thinking card guy. Kyle says, you might snag some fishing rods and tackle there as a consolation prize. Right. So when I told my wife the other day that I was going to get a fishing pole, she's like, why don't you? And I think the idea came because she was, I think literally like she had sold something on Facebook Marketplace. She's like, why don't you buy one on Facebook Marketplace? And I'm like, because I can get one at Walmart for like 20. Like, I'm not going out and spending $200 on it. This isn't like an e-bike. I think that's what she thought. Like, I'm going to go spend all this money on fishing stuff. No. I'm going to go spend like $25 on a cheap fishing pole that I can just throw in the water. Like, this is not like sport for me. This is, give me something to do while I sit by the pond, which I did last night. I used my new chair which has the cooler and the armrest. Put a couple Michelob Ultras in there and just hung out by the by the pond. Let's see. Max says, T-Dog, go beg somewhere else. We don't do that here. White Rabbi, THC, are you Yakuza crime boss by day? I don't know what that means. Cooter says, we had a local estate sale with tons of collectibles that people literally camped overnight for 2 days prior to the list. Holy shit. Andy Mack says, Wisconsin also has the most alcoholics. I think that's true. There's polls and reports where, yes, we are like the most alcoholic state in the country. Max says, put on a beer hat and you'll be fine, right? Art of War's in the house. What's going on? I don't know what that means. Low Roller says, you might find the first edition Pokemon sealed box. There you go. Vin, what's up? Inglewood in the hood. What's up, Inglewood? He's a big Oakland A's fan. Value Box Digger says, it actually will be really interesting to see pre-COVID, us collectors were a small group. Half the people in the chat weren't even around. Is it cherry picked? Time will tell. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point about, is it cherry picked? That's my thought process was, there's vintage that doesn't look like it's been touched, but at the same time, there's junk wax. And so that leads me to think, it's probably been cherry picked. Let's see. Dan says, didn't need to explain. We know you meant figuratively. Value Box Digger says, pre-COVID, there would be Bo lined up for baseball cards. T206 Kid says, if there are Beanie Babies, it's probably a bad sign. I don't think there were any Beanie Babies that I saw. Dose of Aqua, what's up? I'm not into it, but a lot of money can be made in Magic the Gathering cards. Zach and Porter in the house. Why does this chat look so odd? Did you go live in shorts or something? This is like an NFL press conference live feed. Don't like it. Live on location. Baraboo, Wisconsin. Vin. Oh, yeah, the McGuire and Ozzie Smith mem get good numbers. Value Box Digger says a buddy owns a shop and literally pays his rent on what he makes doing Magic events on Friday nights. I'm going to have to roll my... Oh, shit. I got to turn my car on. Yoda Papa vintage cards. What we got some new people. I think the estate sale drew in some new people. What's up? Welcome to the chat. What's going on? Yoda Papa. Brian says, last bit of advice, stay curious. So many items you can flip if you want to make a few extra bucks. And that's kind of my goal, obviously, is the sports cards. If I get shut out with sports cards, I'm going to look around and try to find other stuff so it's not a wasted trip. Sports card ripping teacher says, now that's a hat. You are going to meet a lot of flea market reseller YouTubers in estate sale day. Maybe. I'm opening 3 jumbo cases of Top Series 2. Oh, good luck. Good luck. I think there's I thought about just going to, it's like, what am I going to do once I get to the estate sale and sign in like I did this morning? What am I going to do in Baraboo for the next 3 hours, 2.5 hours? So I'm like, well, there's a Walmart. I could go see if there's Top Series 2. But then I'm like, well, I can just do Hobby Evolution from the road. And we started about the same time as when I sleep in. So here we are. Sports card ripping teacher says they don't teach kids to box out these days. That is sad. That was like the number one thing they taught us back in the day. I'll never forget. And this is probably why I remember boxing out so vividly, is my friend Seth, who he lived, and our parents still live in the same houses we grew up in. There was, at the time, it was just a wide open field. Now it's a walnut tree farm, basically. And so we would play driveway basketball, and we'd have like best of 7 series, like game 1 and 2 at his house. And then for game 3, 4, and 5, we'd go to my house, and then we'd finish up 6 and 7 back at his house and run back and forth. Anyway, Seth was skinny dude, super skinny, tall, skinny dude. His fucking hands were like bones. And when he would box out, one time he like the old backhand box out on my nuts. I was like bent over. Oh, it was so painful. Bony ass hands on a box out on your balls. Oof. Oh. And I think that's why I remember boxing. Like, oh man. Because that'll knock you, like, ooh, you'll see stars. Victor, good morning. What's up? Another shitty loss for the Cubs last night, Victor. We don't want to talk about it. Another bullpen loss. Cubs are on pace. The major league record for blown saves in a season is 36. The Cubs, after last night's 15th blown save, are on pace for 35.2 blown saves this year. Shitty ass bullpen. Yoda Papa says, hello, sports card ripping teacher. Sports card ripping teacher says, hello back. Sponge fellow, what's up? Another new chatter. What's up? We got the neighborhood trash talker here. What's going on? James, good morning. How many people are waiting? Let's see. So when I got here at 7:25, there was only one person waiting in the driveway. I was number 5 on the check-in list. So, but there's been a lot of people since I went live 36 minutes ago. There's been a lot of people. After I end this video, I'm going to go out and wipe the sweat off because I'm baking inside my car with this. It's only like 60 degrees, but the sun's baking in. Glad I wore shorts and a t-shirt. Dan says, would you ever wear a Brewers hat to be incognito? No, I just wear Badger stuff. So that's the good thing about my who I align with, because I am a Badgers fan. No way in hell would I wear a Packers or Brewers stuff, but I can wear Badger stuff and still fit in. Or Bucks. Like I'm not like a huge Bulls fan, so I have a Milwaukee Bucks hoodie. I don't think I have any Bulls shirts, but I have a Milwaukee Bucks shirt. Oh, dogs are barking. This house is very opulent. Is that the right word? It's got a huge fence. It's a big house on a hill. Boulders. Big yard. Very nice. Peter says, thank goodness you said your left hand was holding your phone. Right. What else would it be doing? That's what she said. Dude, I've realized that cards go beyond just card guys. Everyone grabs them at estate sales thinking it's a retirement fund, especially if it's 86 or older. Zach says, what a weird society we have. Someone dies and strangers show up to buy your dead family member's stuff, and the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. That is a good point. I don't know if this is a death. I guess most estate sales are probably from deaths, right? Offbeat All-Star says, estate sale, good luck. This must have been last. Actually, no, it's been like 2 weeks in the making. It's one of those where I've been on the fence about going, but I also didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want other people, if they didn't know about it, I didn't want other people finding out about it. So that's why I've kind of kept it on the DL, on the down low. Cooter says, this is good practice for your road trip to Dallas. There you go. We could do Hobby Evolution road trip with Cooter. Mia's in the house. What's going on? Brian says, need to get a bamboo pole. Good morning, Michael. Michael Renicke's in the house. I'm probably not too far from Michael. I'm in Baraboo. Orlando says, from what you saw in the pictures, how much are you offering for the cards? I don't know how does that work for an estate? Is it already priced or do I offer? From what I saw in the pictures, like, I'd probably gamble at $100. Maybe 200, because I just don't know. Like, it could be all commons. I can't tell the condition. So it's really something I'm not going to know until I see them in hand. There were like no Hall of Fame, like from my memory, there were like no Hall of Famers or superstars showing, but it was like stacks and stacks of 70s cards. Let's see. Where are we at? Scott's in the house. Good morning. Hope you're on the mend and feeling better. Heaven Hammer, what's up? He says, you sound like a radio man. Did it for, 12 years, I think. Todd says, people would be very disappointed if my cards were part of an estate sale. Prime collecting years 81 to 94. Yeah, many of us. Brian says, Walkman portable radios are what I find at estate sales. Sports card ripping teacher wants to know, is the casino still in Baraboo? There might be. I'm not sure. Oh, where are we at? Low Roller says you can do a recap estate sale day in your video. It's like your card show. Yes, and I do plan on, I have to give you an update. We're going on in almost an hour, 40 minutes here. talking about this thing. So I'm definitely going to have to provide an update on how it all went down. It's a good practice run too. It's like, okay, if I want to start checking out estate sales, you got to start somewhere, right? Let's start in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Sports card ripping teacher says, I do teach my boys the fine art. It's the way to get away with a few elbows. There you go. Offbeat All Star says, you'll have to let me know the next time you want to go to an estate sale. I'll roll with. Cooter says, turn your car on for the AC. That's a good idea. Whew, that feels good. Thanks, Cooter. Cooter's always looking out for me. I don't want the radio because I'm a loud radio listener. Am I sweating? I feel like sweating. I feel like I'm dripping sweat. Oh yeah, I think I turned the radio down. I'm a loud radio listener. Like when I get into my car, my wife gets in and she's like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "I'm jamming." Let's see. Brian says Shay needs to look at this estate sale. That's some really cool vintage fishing tackle. Oh, is there fishing stuff here? I glossed over anything non-sports related. I did look at the video game stuff though. Vihan Gamer Bro says, hi, my life, my rules, my style, my attitude. Love me or hate me. I like that. I like that. That's a good set of rules. Dan says, is this Bo's first estate sale? It is. Estate sales, rummage sales are always negotiable. Merle says, hope your phone will still have battery to look up comps. Oh, yeah. I'm at 75%. I've got a battery charger in my car, so we're good to go. Let's see. Low Roller says you can find a lot of great deals, baseball gloves, bats you can sell in your eBay. There you go. Could never know. Let's see. Merle says make sure you follow up with the guy that buys the cards. Right. Hey, what'd you pay for those? I'll give you a double. Orlando loves the Cub headrest. Yes. My mom bought me a Cub steering wheel cover, but it doesn't fit this type of steering wheel. So I still have it. I just got to wait for the right steering wheel to come along. Let's see. Offbeat All Stars. Thanks for looking out for Bo Cooter. We may have had an overheated card flipper. Right. It's like, where's Bo? He's passed out on live video. Don't forget your fishing license. Cheyenne Cunningham. What's up? Give me a shout out. You got it. Dan says it's good that you wore a whitish shirt. Estate people don't want to see the sweaty pits. Oh, yeah. I always plan when I'm out and about. I always plan. It's like, ooh, that shirt. I'm going to be pitting. I think it was on Shark Tank. There's a shirt that prevents pit stains. I'm going to look into that. Normally I don't care, but if I'm in like a public setting or, a professional setting, I guess, which rarely happens, but I don't want to be pitting. Let's see. Brian says cards look to be in the attic or upstairs. There's also a Nickelodeon jacket in the closet worth at least 50. Brian, you are good. You're good at this. Cooter says, I think your car mic took over, so this looks like a dubbed version of Hobby Evolution. Oh, really? It did. And phone. End call. Huh. Where we at? Estate Talk brings out the bots. It must. Red Light 34, F-bomb. I left the F-bomb at home. I feel the undershirt causes the pit stains. Oh, no. No, I'm just a sweater. I feel like I sweat more without the undershirt. Merle says only one thing says sports card guy more than a middle-aged white guy, and that's a sweaty middle-aged white guy. Yep, that's me, baby. That dude from Duryea says, I would say you were overdressed for an estate sale. They will think you got the big bucks. Oh, damn. Should have wore my greasy chicken stained, barbecue stained white t-shirt. Traveling 3D printed F-bomb coming your way. So yeah, here I am on 10th Avenue in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Just hanging out. Looks like we've got a small gathering. Looks like another baseball card guy. That dude's totally a baseball card guy. So, what time is it? It's 8:17. Still early, man. Oh, look at a puppy dog. Yeah. Oh, he's adorable. I think that's his owner that just walked up the hill. So yeah, I've got the air on, so I'm not sweating. So Dan wants to know what time is it supposed to start? 10 o'clock. Offbeat All Stars knows exactly where you are. Yeah, isn't that house beautiful? That puppy. Look at that puppy dog. Oh, hi. See? Where we at? Orlando says, when did they start letting people in? 10 o'clock, and they were strict, no early birds. So 10 o'clock. So I still have almost 2 hours. Merle says, I can see the traveling 3D F-bomb being used in road rage incidents, right? You don't even have to like flip people off. You just F-bomb them. Jonathan, what's up? Good morning. Feeling much better today. Thank you for asking. My allergies have been terrible. If you're on Twitter, and I think Dan US Sports Cards mentioned it in a reply. I was getting dressed downstairs, and I look out the window to the backyard, and I see my ducks with ducklings. There's like 8 ducklings. So I took a photo, and you can see it looks like there's snow on the ground from all the pollen. So I've been dealing with, we've just had terrible pollen. You can probably still hear it a little bit in my voice, but yesterday I started feeling better as the day went on. When I went to the dentist, and I told him, I'm like, I've been dealing with allergies, because then the hygienist was like feeling, all your things. She's like, oh, your lymph node here. But she's like, you've been dealing with allergies? I'm like, yeah, they've been terrible. She's like, okay, that's probably why that's what's going on there. So yeah, allergies have been brutal. Those people don't look like baseball card people. Where we at? Let's see. Offbeat All Star says, that's funny. Used to run all over Baraboo when I was selling beer. Dan says, why did you get there so early? Because there's a sign-in sheet, and I didn't. And so here's why I got here so early. So the sign-in sheet supposedly was going to start at 7:30. So I guess they didn't do early birds because they put it out before 7:30. So there's a sign-in sheet. So the first like 25 people get in first. And I got here at 7:25. There was one lady waiting in the driveway, and she's like, here's the sign-up sheet. And she's like, are you a baseball card guy? And I said, yeah. How'd you know? And she goes, well, the other 3 guys that were here before you were also baseball card guys. And I'm like, oh shit. So I'm in line. I'm the 4th baseball card guy. I'm 5th on the list, but I'm the 4th baseball card guy. So, but one of the names was crossed out, so I don't know if he's like, screw it, I'm not coming back. So, but hey, still 3rd or 4th. Get in there. So we'll see how it goes. So my first estate sale. I've heard so many. I've had some buddies like along the way that have been big estate sale guys, especially card people, and just rave about estate sales. I have a few dealers that peruse the estate sales. One of the guys who's really good at it, he's retired, so he has a lot of good. I'm basically retired, right? I live like a retired guy's lifestyle. Like I can list and ship, but hey, if I want to go to an estate sale, I can go to an estate sale. So here we are in Baraboo, Wisconsin. So the estate sale, they open the doors at 10 a.m. My name's on the sign-in sheet. There are baseball card guys ahead of me. So we'll see how it goes once the doors open. Is there only one card item in the sale? No. There's actually a whole bunch. There's 3 like shoe boxes of 70s cards. Like a shoebox of 72, 73 Topps basketball. There's football from the mid 70s, early to mid 70s, baseball. There's a binder. I don't know what's in the binder. They didn't really take good photos of the cards. You can go to estatesales.net and just type in Baraboo, and you can see what's all in the sale, because it's not just cards. There's clothes and like household items, jerseys, video game stuff, a whole bunch of random stuff. Um, so we'll see if I swing and miss on the cards. Maybe there's something else that I can grab. So, and then there's also, that's not just 70s. There's like 3 shoe boxes of 70s stuff, but then there's also some junk wax. I saw some like 91 Fleer. So I don't know. This guy that just pulled up, that guy looks like a baseball card guy, right? I think he's competition. Box out. Let's see. Good luck. Thank you, Michael. Good thing the boss let you take a half day to go to the sale. Yeah, my wife was actually like, I think she just wants me to get out of the house more. It's like, yeah, you're in your basement a lot. Like, you need to get out. Like, go do some stuff with friends. I just don't. I'm kind of stuck in my ways of staying home and working all day, except for today. It's like, yeah, I think feeling better. Let's go to Baraboo. Estate sale time. So yeah, that's about all. So that's what's going on. I'm in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Hence the Cooter says, see my comment above. Where's Cooter's comment? I think I missed it. Oh, about my car? Yeah, I tried to. Is it about my car? My car microphone? I'm hitting end call on my car, and it won't end the call. So I don't know how to. I don't know. Yoda Papa says, been fun. Have a great day. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go out and get some fresh air. I'm gonna talk to some cards from Walmart. I'm gonna go up there and see. Looks like there's a few people gathered. I'm gonna see if there's other card people and just kind of get a lay of the land up here. It's 8. I'll go live after. So they start letting people in at 10. So maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock. We'll see. I'll do an update. I'll go live again later this morning in a couple hours to just tell you how things went. Hopefully they went well. We'll see. Myrtle says, don't lose your parking spot. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I think I might just stay here. I don't want to go to Walmart and buy cards. I've got I parked kind of halfway down the hill, so I get a little bit of exercise walking up the hill, but I don't have to park blocks away because there's only parking on one side of the street. Let's see. Thanks, Orlando. Thank you, Dat Dude. Good luck. Thank you, Red Light. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link is not in today's Wisconsin, getting ready for an estate sale. So like, subscribe, check it out, 99centcards.com. Stay tuned. We will come back again later this morning for a follow-up to today's estate sale, and we'll see you then. So for now, signing off. I'll be back in a couple hours to let you know how things go. See you then.